We'll start this session. Welcome everyone for this session, Copilot Studio User Group. So, this is a new user group which we have formed in Brisbane. This user group basically provides basic assistance with regards to Copilot Studio. We are planning to set up sessions every month covering various topics around Power Platform and Copilot Studio. So we'll be covering various ranges of topic. Anyone interested in delivering the session or assisting the user group are more than welcome, and we would like an active participation from the community. So we have uh, different content being presented in this user group today. So I'll be just giving a high level walkthrough of the user group, and then Nehal will provide a basic high level overview of how you can utilize Copilot Studio to build an agent. Now, just to start with the user group thing, let me just show you in Power Platform community. If you can navigate to the user groups, you will find our user group, Copilot Studio User Group. And here we have listed down the topics which we are going to cover in this particular user group. So every month we are planning to set up an event. So this event is the first event, which will basically look into the Copilot Studio tools. So any tools which helps in aiding, assisting the development of Copilot Studio agent development process, we will be looking into those particular tools. Something like editing the source code, theming the agent, classifying the agent, and looking into the agent inventory. So these are some of the items which I'm going to cover. But before that, I would like Nehal to basically present a high level walkthrough of different Copilot Studio feature.
Yes, all good. Okay, so today I'm going to brief you about Copilot Studio. What is Copilot Studio? First of all, we'll go through what is the agenda of the meeting. So what is Copilot Studio? How to create an agent and capabilities within Copilot Studio. So let's first start with the first topic, what is Copilot Studio? So when you hear Copilot Studio, there are a lot of questions coming to your mind that okay, there are other copilots that you must be using currently, and how the Copilot Studio is different. So first of all, I want to touch base on that. So yes, there are different kind of copilots available, like Copilot Online, Copilot M365, and the Copilot Studio that we are going to go through in detail in this user group. So what is Copilot Online? So Copilot Online is the one that you are already using on the web, on your phone, and that is like ChatGPT, but from Microsoft. So that is Copilot Online. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, I was talking about Copilot that you are already using, Copilot Online. So the one that is already having all the knowledge from all the sources available on the web publicly. So it has knowledge of all the public website. So generally you use that for creating image and getting all your answers basically. Um, then you have Microsoft 365 Copilot. So this is basically connected with your Microsoft Graph data. So like your emails, your chats. So the Copilot that you use in your Teams channel. So that is all Microsoft 365 Copilot. Unlike Copilot Online, it has some licensed cost. So it is not free, but it helps you in the work. So it already is connected with your intranet and all that things. So it is a little bit different than your online Copilot. Now Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio, when you go copilotstudio.microsoft.com, first of all, you will land on this screen, and how it is different from other two Copilots. So with Copilot Studio, you can build your own agent from the scratch. So it does not have any knowledge from any sources, unlike other two Copilots. But it has capability of large language model, so you can give Copilot Studio knowledge to build an agent, and then you can basically customize everything. So you have a lot of control when you use Copilot Studio to create an agent. So you can use Copilot Studio to build upon your M365 Copilot, or you can completely use to create an agent which is completely standalone. So now the question comes that how can you create that agent that I'm talking about? So when you land on this Copilot Studio or home page, you have multiple options to create this agent. So first of all, you can see it's a describe your agent to create it. This box, so you can just start writing and put your prompt here that what kind of agent you want to create, and just go from there. Another way is going into the create, and when you click on new agent, it takes you to the this screen, which you can basically prompt and chat with Copilot, and it will help you to create your agent by prompting and asking what instruction, what name you want to give to your agent, and etc. And if you don't have any idea that what agent you want to create, and you just want to first see how it works, then you can start from the template. So you see there are a lot of pre-built templates available. So even if you go and see more, there are a lot of pre-built templates available. So these are three ways that you can create Copilot agent in Studio. So let's try creating financial insight so you get better idea. So once I click on that template, you can see the name is already given, description is given, the instructions is given. I want to drag your attention to instruction, where we are mentioning that question with direct or indirect intent to get advice or a forecast should not be answered, and then should not include any interpretation, but rather information specially mentioned in this source data. So this kind of instruction we can give to limit the uh, limit limit the interpretation from the agent, so it will keep the information to the source data. Now the how this source coming from, so that is a knowledge that we will give them. So in this template, this site is already added as a knowledge, so let's open that. So this site is basically US Security Exchange Commission site. So this Copilot, when you will ask anything, this Copilot will purely use that source to give you reply and not anything else. So that's a basic things that you can be mindful of when you're creating an agent. So now you can go ahead and press create. Yeah, so now our agent is created, as you can see. Now I told you about the knowledge. So this template already had a knowledge, but if you want to remove this and add another site, then you can go here, add knowledge, and you have lot of options like public website, data walls, SharePoint. So you can give any other knowledge, and it will pick that up. So let's try adding public websites. I have kept this ATO Australian site open. So let's add that. Um, and you can see this website can't be in more than 2 level deep. So you have to give only 2 level deep. So when you add that knowledge, you can add to agent now. Right. And then you can delete that previous knowledge as well. So now we have changed the source and knowledge of this agent. So what difference does it make? So when you will now ask any questions to this agent, rather than referring to previous US site, it will now refer to this Australian ATO sites and give you answer. So let's so basically on your right side, it's your test your agent box where you can just prompt and test your agent, and which is how it will work. So how can I file my test? So it will now go to that website and try to you can see here it's trying to use that knowledge and responding from that source. So that is one thing. And then another amazing thing with Copilot Studio is it's not always AI. So you can even define your topics and control your agent for replying. So for example, you can put few conditions like if you get any prompt, XYZ prompt, just escalate to human agent. Or if you get prompt say goodbye, then just terminate the conversation. So that is really handy when you want to restrict any hallucination from agent, or you want to keep your brand, and if you don't want to give any wrong legal or safety like critical question advice wrong, then it will be really helpful to add topics and control your agent. Um, and there are a lot of other things like activity channels where you can set up trigger and action. So you can use this agent as your trigger point, and then use Power Automate capabilities for this agent. So this is just a brief of Copilot Studio Agent, and yeah, that is what all I wanted to cover today.
Hey, thanks, Neil. That was an amazing session. Like, I really like the interface of Copilot Studio. It has improved a lot, and Microsoft has really added a lot of features, enriching the agent. And also, like, like how you
That,
add a knowledge source is pretty quick, right? Like just adding a URL and then the entire content gets indexed.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah,
So
that's very amazing.
yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah. So what I'll do is like I'll quickly share my screen and then so let me know once you guys see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
And see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So to start with, just to give an introduction, like I'm Girish Uppal, residing in Brisbane. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I do get involved in other community programs named as Power Up program, and also the user group leader for this particular uh, user group. Uh, the topic for this session is Copilot Studio Tools. So this is all about adding those extra layers to your agent development process, which Nehal just demonstrated. So Nehal demonstrated on how to create an agent, how to view the topics, how to add a knowledge source. Now this is going into some different zone whereby you just step out of Copilot Studio and then you use other tools in other shape or form. One is available within Visual Studio Code, other is like a model driven app, and that will help you in the development process of your agent. Now there are a couple of tools which I have listed over here. So there are four: VS Code Copilot Studio Extension, VS Code Copilot Agent Toolkit, Copilot Studio Kit, Copilot Studio Agent Usage Estimator. So all this tool has a different purpose. So I'll go through this tool one by one, and then I'll explain you what does this tool is all about. Now, if you see over here, these two tools at the top is simple, and even the fourth one is simple. But Copilot Studio Kit is going to take majority of the session because there's a lot of things happening in the Copilot Studio Kit model-driven app. There are other items, like I've just given the link over here. What does this tools do? And then there are some tool whereby you can actually test Copilot Studio without even navigating to Copilot Studio. So these are the links. I'm not going to cover that, but then these are like some of the tool set. Again, to end with, like I have listed down the resources, licensing documentation, newsletters posted by the community. So you can have a look into that so that you get more knowledge, information in terms of other people who are contributing in the Copilot AI and the Copilot Studio space. Training, there are some free training available by Microsoft Agent Academy. That's a new one. Go try and have a look into the course content. It is very simple. You will learn a lot, and it's got a staging and the grading process incorporated within it. Anyways, there is a learn site. You can navigate to the learn site, and then there is an agent creator community as well. So yes, so that's all about the slide. So let me jump into the demo. So first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my VS Code. Now before I go opening the VS Code, I will basically, so let me show you one tool, like which this is the fourth one which I mentioned, Copilot Studio Agent Usage Estimator. Now what does this tool do is, like, this is an online tool. So you navigate to the URL, and then here, just by going into this tool, you will be able to estimate how much you're gonna pay for the licensing cost for utilizing Copilot Studio. Now this is on basis of the message. Now recent change which Microsoft did on the Copilot Studio is, like, now messages are known as credits. Okay, so you replace message with credit, and you will be able to calculate the total estimated credits or messages your Copilot Studio will consume. Think about a fictitious organization like, say, Contoso Inc. Now you have a Contoso Inc., and Contoso Inc. has decided to ride the AI wave, and they are gonna build a lot of agents. So their development team is full of ready, and then they want to build agents. Now they want to build 50 agents, within an organization. Now, but they don't know what is the licensing cost, how many users are going to use it, what will be the structure. But they know, like, what they are going to build, right? So if you know what you're going to build, you just navigate to this tool and just answer the question. Okay, so let's say estimated type, an estimate based on common telemetry data and assumption, or an estimate based on manual entries for my agent. So I can pick up the estimated type. How many users are you going to use? So let's say example, 5,000 users are going to use this agent. On average, how many times per month will your users interact with your agent? I'll say maybe 52 times. I'm just making up number just to give you an understanding on the total estimated messages which will be required for this particular entire exercise. Okay, and then on basis of that, you can go ahead and issue the purchase order and say, okay, I would like to buy say 2 packs of messages from Microsoft. Okay, currently I don't see any numbers over here. Let's start putting more numbers. Agent type, is it an employee facing agent or a customer partner facing agent? I would say let's start with employee facing agent. We are not putting anything for end user. We are just utilizing it internally first because we are adopting AI slowly. Do your users have M365 Copilot license? I would say no, we don't have any license. What kind of orchestration are you going to use? I'm going to use generative because classic is kind of old. Generative, I would like to use AI. I'd like to put some rich knowledge around it. Agent knowledge, how many tenant graph grounded sources will you have? Maybe I'll just say I'll have 40 tenant graph grounded sources. How often will they be leveraging? So not few, it's like 5 times. How many non-tenant group grounded? I don't have anything. Agent actions, how many actions will your agent have? Let me put say 20. And how often will they be leveraging? Okay, 30 times. How many topics will your agent have? Maybe I'll have more topics, so I'll call it as 56, and maybe I'll put some number over here. Okay. Now, agent autonomous trigger, yes, I'll have 5 autonomous trigger, or maybe I'll just say, oh, I'll only have one. Okay, how often will this trigger? It will trigger 5 each month. Will this trigger use deep reasoning? No. How many agents will this trigger? So maybe 4 and maybe 2, and that's it. I have put my form, and if you see on the right hand side, it has automatically calculated that the total estimated message is around 5877. Now usually Copilot Studio you can get a message pack of 25,000 message, so if you pay X dollar, you get 25,000 message in that one pack. So for me, one pack is good enough. But the moment I increase my users, my messages and all, it may start increasing. Okay, now here if I just type in something, nothing has increased, but if I go ahead and add some more value in the agent topics and all other parameters, this will increase. So as you see, this has increased from 5,000 to 20,000. So this is how we can use agent usage estimator tool. So that's the first tool. Second tool is all about VS Code. So let's go into the VS Code. So if I go into VS Code, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to install an extension. So if I go to extension and just search for Copilot, so you will see a whole bunch of things, but you will see one thing like Copilot Studio Preview. So if I go to Copilot Studio Preview, this is Copilot Studio extension for VS Code. What does this extension do is like it will allow you to edit the agent. Okay. Now, before I even go into this tool, let me go into the Copilot Studio interface and show you an agent. Okay. So let me pick up some agent. So maybe let me go into the Girish research agent. Now here I can do drag and drop, right? I can create a topic, I can add a tool, I can add a knowledge. So I can do all this thing drag and drop. But what if I want to see the code? What is the code? Okay, I have created some couple of topics over here, custom topics. So I'll go to say maybe donut, so this is one topic I created. Triggers when user types donut. So some example, some random example. If I want to see the code, what I will do, I'll go here, click on more and click on open code editor. This will allow me to edit the code in Copilot Studio interface. So I can go ahead and make all the changes over here. Once I'm done with the change, I will just type maybe donut, and if it is triggered correctly, then it will show me graph, like a bar chart or a donut chart in the system. See, it has generated this. Now it has used adaptive card. Okay. Now, okay, this is all good, but anyone can edit it, right? Like say if I'm working on this, I will go ahead and edit it over here. If say someone else, your team member wants to edit this, then you need to put it somewhere in the source control, right? So if I go into my VS Code over here, and if I install this extension, after installing the extension, what you need to do is like just press arrow and then start typing Copilot Studio. The moment you type in Copilot Studio, here you will see a whole bunch of things. So sorry, I'll just type in again Copilot Studio. So here, if you see the options, there is sign in, there is push change, clone agent, focus on agents view, and so many other things. First thing what you need to do is sign in. Okay, so I've already signed in. Then the next step is I want to clone the agent. Okay, so let me clone the agent. So when I click on clone the agent, as it is connected, it will ask me, oh, which environment do you want to connect to? Let me pick Girish Dev. Then it will tell you which agent. Okay, now in my case, I need to check which agent it was, but I can pick up any agent. So let me pick up Girish research agent. And then it will ask me to, like create a folder, select a folder where all this code will be stored. So let me pick up Copilot Studio agent folder. You can pick up any folder. Click on select folder and then it will start cloning. As you see over here, it will start cloning the agent. Now, if I again put an arrow and type in Copilot Studio, then I can see the session info. So this is the session info. I can see the timestamp ID. I can see the session ID, platform ID. Plus, again, if I go over here, I have an option to focus on workspace view or agent view. So let's see the agent view. If I go into the agent view, I can see all the environment on the left hand side. Let me go to Girish Dev. Now here, I can see all the agents which I have within that environment. If I go into Girish research agent, then I can actually navigate to that specific agent. But currently it is all getting synchronized. So this all code is getting synchronized. So there is an option, you can navigate to workspace, you can navigate to the agent, as you see over here. So I'm going into, say, another environment, Girish MVP default. I can see different agent within that. Now MVP default, I am not utilizing that. I can go into prod and I can see all the list of agents over here. Okay, so initially I just configured Girish dev, and that's why Girish dev agent was being shown. So this is how you can view the agent. Now this is the one which is come in my local workspace, Girish research agent. Now if I go into the folder structure, so let me open in another page. So here, if I go to dev code, Copilot Studio Agent, this is the folder where I just now put Girish research agent. If you see, I can see all the content of my agent, and then from here I can navigate to topic, I can open the topic, I can edit the topic. So this is how basically I can go ahead and update all the code. Once you're done editing the code, you can just type in Copilot Studio, and then you can clone the, we have already cloned the agent. You can focus on agents view. You can, after making the change, you can push the changes back. Okay, so I have this Girish research agent. I can pick up any other agent if I want. It is just like, you know, like navigating. Plus, if I click on three dots, I have an option to hide different set of agent. Plus, I can clone as well. You know, I can again start the process and say I want to clone with something else. Remember one thing, you are already signed in. Now you can go over here and you can maybe sign out, or maybe you can again sign in with your Copilot Studio agents. So this is one tool. Second tool, extension. If I again type Copilot, there is Copilot Agent Toolkit. So Copilot Agent Toolkit is again a VS Code extension. So let me minimize this. So this particular extension basically is a comprehensive VS Code extension for designing and customizing Copilot agent interface with real-time preview. You can configure the theme for your agent. Okay. Now, if you're not happy with the agent, how it looks, like this looks a bit okay, because this is in dark mode. If I go and select light mode, I should be able to see the changes. So let me remove the dark mode, and the interface of by default agent will look something like this. Okay, and if you're not happy with, like, it does not have an icon, if you want to customize it further, and if you're deploying it in a third-party site, then you would like to polish it, right? So with Copilot Agent Toolkit, you can use themes, you can use live web chat preview, you can select the font, and you can do a whole bunch of things. Okay, how to access the content? Again, arrow, and then type in Copilot Agent Toolkit. Here it will say Copilot Agent Toolkit, open the Copilot Agent Toolkit. I'm opening the Copilot Agent Toolkit. Here, let me just unzoom it. Yeah. This is how the preview will look like on the right hand side. I can pick up purple theme, I can pick up blue, green, themes inspired. So let me pick up green. Now, because of mock direct line, I'm able to see the preview directly. Okay, I can change the accent color, I can change the background color, I can even change the font. So if I want Verdana, I can pick up and say Verdana, or maybe I'm happy with, say, Times New Roman. This is how it will look like. Let's stick to Arial, and now I can change other thing, send box. So the send box, which you see, this is a box. I can change the background color. I can change the background color to something else. See, background color has changed. I can change the avatar. Now, if you see the avatar over here, so this is the user and this is the bot. Let me go over here, and I have this image over here for myself. Okay, I'll just copy my image. So this is the image hosted in a website. I will remove that avatar. I will go into bubble. Okay, so I can go into the bubble. I can change the bubble radius. I can go to avatar. I can change the bot image URL or the user image URL. Now the user image URL, I will just paste my name and say my image is changed. Now if you want to change the bot image, I'll go into, say, this logo. Okay, if I'm happy with this logo, I'll just come here change the bot image URL and change it. I can change the bot background color. Bot background color is green. Maybe I want something else. Let me pick up purple, and then it should change the background color of the bot. Similarly, I can work on the bubble. So this is the bubble. I will put a border radius and say the UI changes. I want the height to be more lenient, and then I can change that. So this is how you can basically configure, right? If you go to advanced, you can reduce the font size, you can auto scroll snap, you can show the emoji set, you can even hide this attachment, right? Now, okay, you did all this thing. What are you gonna do? You're gonna click on export JSON. The moment you click on export JSON, it will output the JSON value. Or if you just directly want to use this, you can save it as an HTML, and then this will save it as an web chat embed HTML document. So I'll save this as an HTML document. So it has gone into my download folder, and you will be able to see the web chat embed, this one, right? HTML file. So let me open this. So if you open this, it will present you the HTML, but now what might happen over here is like you haven't configured anything. So you need to actually configure that HTML piece of code. So you just do a right click, and then maybe you edit in Notepad. Now there are some things which you may need to make a change, like there is something called as a token endpoint. You may need to replace that. Okay. And once you make that change, you will be able to utilize your agent. Now from where you get the token endpoint, if you navigate to your agent, and if your agent is published to the web as an anonymous, you can go to channel, and then from here you can navigate to the line, direct line, and then from here you will be able to get token endpoint. Now as this agent uses authentication, so you will not be able to get, but if your agent is set to no authentication, then you should be able to get. So I have some example over here. So if I navigate to say Girish USA, and I should be able to show you one agent which has anonymous authentication enabled. So once it loads, I think it's no authentication agent. So if you go into the channels, then I think you should be able to copy this token endpoint and paste it over there. So this is all about the Copilot agent toolkit, which we have seen. Now we have seen Copilot agent toolkit. We have seen Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio extension in VS Code basically allows you to view the Copilot. Now we are gonna look into another model driven app. So this is like something, we call it as a Copilot Studio Kit. So Copilot Studio Kit is again it's built by the Microsoft team. So it's built by the PowerCat team. You can go ahead and download the releases. So latest release was July, and I think one is due this month. So this, what is this is basically, it's a model driven app. So you deploy the solution, and here you will be able to see Copilot Studio Kit. Now you can configure the Copilot Studio Kit based on your requirement. You can use it for multiple purposes. So but the basic purpose to utilize Copilot Studio Kit is to utilize the test functionality. And then there are other inbuilt tools within Copilot Studio Kit. Okay, if I go into agents, here you need to manually specify the test. Okay, so how do? You click on new, you specify your agent name, you specify what are you going to do with that. Okay, so with that specific agent, I'm just going to test that agent, or maybe for one of the agent I may run a conversation KPI or a file synchronization. So these are the different things you can configure. I have already configured agents like demo, research, travel, therapy. So if I go into therapy agent, I have already created a test for that. Okay, now what is a test? Test means like you can actually create a test run. So if I click on new agent test run, I will be able to specify what kind of test set are you looking and which agent are you configuring. Okay, so example, like if I have this agent over here, and if I specify something, say if I put a prompt and say in the last example we said donut, right? And then it gave me a donut chart with some JSON data. Now, if I say type in donut and if it gives me response as hello world, okay, so let's assume this is like a simple example. I can actually configure the Copilot Studio kit in such a way that the test which I create, it will configure that entire process. Okay, so let me show you some of the options. So if I go into say demo agent, here I can configure various things like the name, Dataverse, URL, token endpoint, and other things. Here you will also see test runs. Now, how many number of times have you conducted that test runs? You can create a test set. So I'll create a test set over here. So let me call this as test set 002. Click on save. And then I can run this test set. Okay, so I've created this test set. And you need to create a test. So test set comprises of multiple tests. Now I'll click on new agent test. Now remember in the example I said if I say donut, then the answer should be say maybe hello world. So for that case, I will just call it as donut topic. And test type, I will say response match. So if I say donut, then the expected response should be hello world. Now it is equal, so it will exactly check 1:1, but you have other options to configure as well. Okay, so this is a simple 1:1 checking. If you say something, you should get exactly the same thing. But sometimes that's not the case because we are using AI, you may get different responses, right? Then there is an option for topic match. So if you say donut, expected topic is maybe there is a topic named as donut, or maybe there is another topic named as croissant, right? So I can even specify that topic name. Okay, so I can put different topic name. Or if it is a generative answer, so if it gives you generative answers, then if you type donut, then you can exactly say whether it is answered, whether it is not answered, whether it is moderated or no search result. So if it is answered, then you can put your exact expected response. Not answered, you can put expected response. Or if it is moderated, then you can say this should give some moderation error. So this is how you can create that test. Okay, now I'll just discard this, and then once you run the test here, you will show you how that test has run. Okay, so this is all the example it will show you. So I have already ran for one of the example. So that's about test. Navigating to agent inventory. Now here in the agent inventory, I will be able to see all the agents which I have created in the system. Now this is including all the environment in your tenant. So I have got 4 or 5 environment. It is a combination of all the agents. So I've got 105 agent, 99% of them are using Gen AI, 9% using tools. So it will give you a nice bit of statistics. And if you have created agents maybe a week back or maybe 2 days before, just click on sync agent and it will starting the synchronization process. And then if it finds any agent, it will add it over here. It will give you nice statistics of your environment. So when it was created, when the agent was created, so you can actually see the agent's creation timeline. You can navigate to specific agent. So let me go into say shipping agent. So I have the shipping agent. I can view more details about that agent. So I'll click on view details and then I should be able to see some more information about the agent. Similarly, if I go to research, I'll be able to see some more information about the agent, or I can just search agent starting with the name Girish, and then it will show you all the list of agent. Now, when I type Girish, it gave me all the record set. Why? Because it is not only searching on name, but then it is also searching an environment name as well. If I just type in maybe basketball, then it will give me just one agent. If I click on show more, it will take me to the all agent details. And if I go inside one of the agent, I will be able to see whole bunch of configuration for that agent, whether that agent uses MCP, agent uses Gen AI, uses HTTP request, uses prompts. I can get whole bunch of information. I can even see the instructions, for that specific agent. So that's about agent inventory. Conversation KPI. Conversation KPI is basically all about conversation key performance indicator. Now I have created a lot of agents. I conversed with the agent and it has generated a nice Power BI report for me. It will give you the resolution rate drivers. It will give you the tracked variables. You can actually see which agent has been abandoned, which agent was escalated, which agent properly resolved. You can see all this information over here. How, like, you asked a prompt, like you put in a prompt and the agent responded. You put a prompt, agent said that I cannot answer this, let me escalate to an agent, then it will show you in red. Those all things you can actually track. Navigate to conversation, and then here you will be able to see when did you converse, how many of them have escalated, unengaged, what was the session, what was a multi-turn, and then you can actually see the details as well. Topics, what all items you asked to the agent. Conversation start, and then you see all the GUIDs over here. Then topic redirect. Why did the topic redirected? Because someone asked country to visit, someone asked prefix, and then it got redirected, and this was the instance. When did it start over? Then for this particular things, and then you can click on it, and then you'll be able to navigate it to the record. Also, you can look into the fallback process, like what was the fallback when user asked this thing. And this is all about generative answers. So this is how you can see the report. Agent value summary. Now you have created so many agents. Now if you want to classify different agents, what it is. So you see the number of agents with value classification. The agent which you have created, it comes under two types, so agent types and agent behavior. Now some agent, they will sense, and then respond. Some agent will not even consider that, they will just decide. Some agent will not even interact, they will just act. Some agent will reflect, some agent is for collaboration, some agent just for responding. Similarly, from a type, you can classify the agent into assistant, collaborator, executor, planner, advisor. And if you want to know more, you can click on agent behavior, and then you can actually see individual type and example of the company which have implemented. So if you see respond, T-Mobile has implemented this, and if you want to read more about the story, you can go ahead and see individual examples. So it will open customer stories, and then you will be able to see how this agent was being built. Okay, so that's about agent value summary. Web chat playground. Now remember, in the VS Code we have used Copilot agent toolkit, right? It's I would not say it's the same thing, but you can do similar things over there. Okay, so if you want to have a predefined template, so say without even having anything, it has got a nice style. If you want to use a sunset, this is how you can use. It will show you the preview, gold, red, purple, brown, or if you're not happy, click on add a theme, and then you can start configuring the accent color, background color, the border radius. See, these all things we have already configured, right, previously. The bubble, so if you want the bubble border radius, you put a background color. Once you are done with all this thing, you can name this theme. I'll call it as Girish theme, and then I'll save it. Then you can see the JSON, you can see the HTML, you can even see the web preview if you have configured. I didn't configure this, but then you can actually see the web preview as well. You can see the HTML, and remember the one thing which I said, you need to replace the token endpoint, and then you will be able to see the preview of the HTML file. Agent review tool. So this is all about, you have created an agent, but you now want to create a review. Like this tool basically automates the process of reviewing your agent and making it easier to find and fix errors or anti-patterns. So I'll go ahead and click a review. So I'll call it as review 1. I'll put some description over here. I'll pick up an existing solution. So let me pick up maybe therapy solution. And now I'll click on save. And then it will start generating the result. Okay, so I will not wait for the result. I will just skip into the new instance. Okay, so let me go ahead and go into the new instance. So let it run in the background. Okay, we have something called as a conversation analyzer. So conversation, now so many agents have interacted, right, in my tenant. Now I want to see what did people communicate on. Did people share any personal information? Did people share company's data accidentally? Now there are so many conversation happening. It's like 105 agent, 7,000 messages. How will I identify if there is an information leak or if something suspicious is happening? So I'll be able to, check on the conversation analyzer, and then I will be able to view those things. So let me refresh this. So with the help of conversation analyzer, I will be able to actually review the conversation. Okay. Now, yeah. So I can pick up any agent. Okay. So I'll pick up cricket agent or demo agent, or let me pick up say demo agent. I'll click on analyze. Now, if I think there is some suspicious activity going on with this agent, I have this PII analysis. It means personally identifiable information. So this is like a prompt, and I will click on run, and it will check whether if there is any personal information has been shared with someone else or not. Or you can create your own prompt, like if you can click on create a custom prompt, and then you can type in, say prompt name is credit card. If you want to say, is there a question that was repeated, or let's say, did credit card info was shared? I can check as an admin. I can easily put that prompt, and then I can start utilizing this. Did credit card information was shared? So I can click on start, and then it will actually do the analysis on all the instructions which has been, like all the conversation that has happened, and then it will give you a result whether the credit card information was shared in your conversation or not, just by typing in a prompt. So let that happen in the background. Now it has given me a result. Let me go into one of the result, and here it says 4 messages were analyzed, and it will also give you the conversation replay. So it will show you the reply as well. Now just by looking into it, it doesn't look like any information has been shared, so it has given me that result. But if I had any example, that would have been flagged over here. Okay, so it says no, and it will show you the result as well. Okay, so that's about conversation analyzer. Let me see the topic which we abandoned in between. Where did it go? Yeah, review. So we did a review. Let's come back to the review and see what did the review came. It says, oh, Girish classic agent 30%. Click on review, and it said that okay, there is some issue with the, so it will give you all the patterns, and it will give you all the descriptions, and you can just work around with this and then improve your agent. So example would be flow count, or a long phrases, or a single word phrase. So it will give you all the details, and if you want to know more, you can click on details, and then it will tell you, hey, topic should contain at least 5 to 10 trigger phrases to ensure that the agent can effectively respond. And then recommendation is ensure each topic has at least 5 to 10 trigger phrases. So even if you don't analyze it, just look into all this thing, you will learn a lot in terms of instruction set. Then we have adaptive cards. So in adaptive cards, you can actually create an adaptive card, okay, by utilizing the templates that are provided. So there are different templates like account summary, approval request, conversation rating, product rating, profile summary. So if I click on profile summary, I can see the code. I can see this is how the adaptive card looks like. So I need not do anything, just copy the card payload and use it in Copilot Studio. Or I can actually open this in Copilot Studio. So it will open Copilot Studio, it will open a demo agent, and within that demo agent, it will utilize that particular card. Okay, so it will, it will give you the code, it will allow you to, say if I just type in profile summary. So ideally, if this loads correctly, I should be able to see the profile summary card, like as you see over here, it has given me the profile summary card. So this is how you can test it on the fly. Okay, so there are so many adaptive card. Incident report, you need not even build a card, it is all there for you. Just copy it, consume it. Ticket information, adaptive card, view it, copy it, and test it. This is how you can test. And the last one, prompt advisor. So prompt advisor is all about understanding the prompt engineering technique. Like it's all about prompts, right? Like you should know how to use a prompt. You should know what to include in the prompt. You should properly give your context and instruction to the agent so that agent can understand it first correctly, interpret it, and then it will help you evaluate. Okay, so if I type in prompt, okay, so in prompt, let me say, I will say, what are the rules of Australian football? Okay, so let's assume this is a prompt which I'm just typing. I can analyze this prompt. Okay, it need not be that simple, but your prompt will be much bigger, but I'll just put something, okay, just to show you the functionality. So what are the rules of Australian football? I'm just analyzing the prompt. It will easily, and it will guide me that what improvisation you can do to improve the prompt. It will give you a nice set of evaluation, so it will give you a confidence level whether the prompt which you have typed in is meaningful, whether the agent will understand, or any other improvements which you can put around the prompt. So this makes use of AI builder. So if you have AI builder, it will give you that evaluation. So it says, oh, this looks perfect, it's like 83% confidence. However, there are some things which you can perform, is like, okay, provide a beginner friendly overview of the fundamental rules and objective of Australian football. So if you give this, you will get much better response. Or list and explain the main rules of Australian football in a concise and easy to understand format. So this is how it will help you to view, like say, learn about prompt engineering and play around with the prompts. There are other things within the kit, like in the backend, if you go into advanced, you can actually see the logs. So if I go ahead and see the logs, I'll be able to see what's happening in the background. Like when we run different commands, I can actually see the conversation. So this is a list of conversation transcript which has happened within the agent. So I can actually see the JSON, I can see the metadata. I can see the agent transcripts, which is happening in the background. So these all things have triggered. I can see the transcript content. So rich set of information available within this Copilot Studio toolkit. It's like you just need to explore it. Components, different components which is formed as a part of Copilot, right? So you build an agent. Agent is not just one agent, it has got different components. So it will list down all the components for your agent. So this is the place to go. Rather than going into the backend database table and then figuring it out how to access, this is the best place to access the information. Collection, if you have any component collection, it will all be listed over here. And then we have a deployment pipeline. So there are so many things to explore within this particular area of Copilot Studio. And then the team is again adding more value. I have just shown you very simple things on test runs, but you can do a much complex thing. Like I showed you just simple thing. If you type in donut, it will respond hello world. But what if I say donut and it says hello world, and then you typed in tennis, and then it will give you some other response, and then you typed in something. So you are doing something called as a multi-turn. It can even test the multi-turn. Okay, so you can even configure the multi-turn within your Copilot Studio kit. So that's the limit. So that tool can go into that extent. So I believe that's it. We will leave it to there. So I think we have covered a lot of things in terms of tool. We have seen the Copilot Agent Toolkit, we have seen the Copilot Studio extension, we have seen the Copilot Studio Estimator tool, and then Copilot Studio Kit as well. So I'd say thanks for joining the session. This was our first session for the Copilot Studio User Group based out of Brisbane. We will host most of the sessions online. So next session will be on the first week of October. Do join us, and thanks for joining.